Oh, there's a good chance that this is started. Um, I'm starting to get into this process. I think I'll be able to talk more about the process in like another week. Um, I don't have folks watching this yet, and I wonder if there will be a time when that happens. But personally, this is a really interesting mirror for me. I think I've watched a lot more video of myself than I have in close to a decade. And it's giving me some better connection with myself, and it's making me happy. I really am liking, I don't know, I really like being reminded of childish things. I got a lot of toys around me. Oh, fuck. I have never actually shown this work. This is a really cool piece. Let me show this. And I have lots of things I want to talk about today. One of the first things I kind of want to do is draw up an agenda. But no, this piece is super fun. Let's see. It probably is closer to the back. I don't know if we really need to be. I just like toss the mouse. That's crazy. I need a good mouse solution here. I'll figure that out eventually. Drawing mode, computer, drawing, just drawing. I'm gonna make myself a little smaller, and then we'll be good. Okay, this is just drawing mode now. Yeah, because that's all we're doing is showing drawing mode. Sometimes I put my mouse on the thing that raises my. I don't know where the texture on this came from, but I love it. Uh, None of these are the pieces, but I am sort of just caught by this. Visualization is a model for transforming information to physical positions. Yeah, it's interesting when you start thinking about perspective in your visualization. It really like adds this like Z dimension and starts to think about like the reference between the viewer and the work. Old school. Write out every ARIA property. There's like 50 or so of them. If you know them, you can be real good. Plant digital trees, design computational skate parks. Yeah. Man, I don't understand why I skipped such a chunk. Weird. Yeah, I like this. Still like thinking about this. These ergon means work. And thinking about all the stuff that goes like around, the work, the frame of it. It's no again, yeah, more frame stuff. Frame and flourish, border. This dude was like, "Yo, this is so boring," and he's like going and adding in an E for you because it's border. Um, I don't know why there's a little tombstone. It says part ergon. There's a little tombstone that says "Rip, I ain't dead yet." And it's hey guys, this isn't funny anymore. I don't know why that's there. This is cute though. Little calligraphy heart and song for Woody. Oh, Bob Dylan. Think I was watching that show, Chalamet. Uh, what? I don't know why. I got very distracted. Quiet gavel, quiet gavel. I guess I was trying to think about how you would draw the sound of somebody hitting a gavel. Yeah, again, like like when I do these things, it lets me spend like a lot of time thinking about the concept that I'm trying to draw. So this is more sort of work around the work stuff. You just keep writing work around the work, and Work, 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 work. I think the nail is saying I'm fucking hammered. I like that. I like to think about how objects respond. You know, you look at it from the other side. It helps you look at people. Toy Story is like very apparent. We're gonna get like there's actually a place I'm going to here. Um, then this is the work around the work, building the building. And I don't know. I think like a lot of the work around the work is folk history, and it's really hard to sort of capture. Oh shit, man! This notebook doesn't really suck. It's weird because you know, sometimes I struggle with depression and anxiety and stuff like that. And when I go back and like I look at these things, it helps me, I don't know, see it in a different light and like know that I'm like going through it, not avoiding it. I think I heard on TV somebody say "good grief" because where the fuck else would you hear that shit? And it's like, what a crazy two words. Like, what is good grief? Got this little picture of Charlie Brown. Then I was like, well, if there's good grief, like, what the hell is bad grief? And that led my wife to asking me, why did you kill Snoopy? So that was like a real day, you know, but yeah, I think that this was actually a piece on grief. I like how colorful this is. This stuff happens when you like run out of ink in your calligraphy pen and then you like swap inks. So this went red to like a really vibrant blue. So you get these intermediate like lilacs into purples and stuff like that. The movement of the color is really, really intense. Yeah. Almost there. This is it. This is what I wanted to show you. This is this is a fuck. 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 But you know, in this like idea of like thinking about frame, it's like so much of a calligraphy piece and so much of like a coding piece is about where you start. And it's nice to have constraints and thinking about how to have constraints because it makes it easier to design a like cohesive sort of unit. So this is fuck. But it was actually made by this Mickey. What are these? These are the like Vinylmation series. I don't think they make them anymore. They're really cute. I got these at like a thrift store recently, and this I don't know. They're fun, and I do very much enjoy uh, Disney aesthetics. So candy cane Mickey. He gives a fuck. He fits right on here, and then his little feet align with the calligraphy, and the whole piece was designed around Mickey living here. And yeah, I started talking about this for God knows what reason. But I'm going to stop here in this notebook. I'm really happy to have been able to go back and look at that stuff. The grief and the work go hand in hand, and the work around the work go hand in hand sometimes. Like, I don't know, people see the work, but they don't see the often appreciate or acknowledge the work around the work or sort of the hidden labor the non-visual labor, you know, folks who do community work do a lot of like behind the scenes stuff. And so much of that comes out in a moment. It's like lots and lots of planning and then rip. A lot of work around the work. And I've often felt like I think about work around the work, but people's goals are the outcome of the work. Um, but I sort of approach it from the frame and like setting up a world for any kind of work to live in. So, if it's a paper notebook or a Jupyter notebook, it kind of doesn't, at this point, matter to me. But when you put in a lot of this thought about the work and the strategy and it goes unseen, it's sort of bad grief. You have to almost like mourn this work that you did. Sometimes, I don't know. I think so. I think some people experience good grief, right? Because like you have to make sacrifices often when you're doing work around the work, especially community labor. And you have good events, you build networks and communities, and you get jobs. That's happened for me. So there have been times where community labor is certainly more on the good grief side. But it's kind of interesting because like one way or another, there's still grief in doing community work. It's very challenging, and I think the same. I think the sort of the same can be said for accessibility work sometimes. There's this like extra effort of being an accessibility advocate on top of being a developer and a tester and all and writer and creator and all of these like different things that you have to do to participate in the culture. There's a lot of work outside of the work, especially when it comes to testing on screen readers. That shit, it happens in linear time. And there's a need for time stamping and measuring work these days, but it's hard to capture these things. And I guess like sometimes I think these like videos are experimenting with the process of capturing that labor because there's significant labor in building the foundation for stuff. And yeah, anyway, I think I'm really thankful that in Bellingham we have a great community of leaders that keep a bi-weekly event going, or by an event every other month. And I got the chance to present there last night. And I wanted to go and finish off my I had a few things I wanted to accomplish today. I wanted to finish, record, and publish my talk. So that involves a few things. I want to listen to it 2 more times. On the first time, listen. On the first time, this is editing and then the last time I'm going to record it. This way I can share a separate video of this. So I want to do that. And to publish, I have to reduce. I want to finish and record. I want to walk through the visuals and process. And then I have to reduce the image size of the or in the document. And then, oh man, I've been looking forward to this all week. I've got this. I've been working with this really cool person. Their name is Liz Henry. They are archiving assistive technology on archive.org. And I just find these documents absolutely delightful. And specifically, they're curating content on assistive technology and support for disabled folks. So this one's from 1960, and it is, let's see, full screen, sturdy. It's a catheter pocket, in a poncho, a walker, a crutch, very, very practical things for those who need them. And I want to make these things like searchable in one place. Like that's kind of what my job is. So undo full screen. I'm confused what full screen I'm in. So I found this file in here, this chalk file. I don't know. It's some zip file that is XML. Gotta get my developer console over here. Okay. Okay, so developer console is full screen. Cool. So if we look in here, it's all these like divs that contain information about the OCR. So we're gonna scrape the hell out of this, and everything I do is just to get to that. I really hope I don't like wear myself out. So basically, I want to see this as a frame. So we'll work in data frames, which is like really my happy place. It feels like doing tricks on a skateboard, which I can't do. I just sort of imagine I feel that cool, but I know it's just fucking programming. But anyway, these are our goals for today. So our first thing is to walk through the visuals and the process. Cool. I'm so excited to rip into this. I love that it has like a visual representation. So last night I got to got to talk at the Bellingham Codes. And before the talk was all accessibility themed, which was like so joyful, usually accessibility has to fight for space. Maybe there's like one person that gets an accessibility talk in a conference, but to have like space made for accessibility is very, very cool. I've been in spaces where that hasn't been made. So it's been nice to be in, or it was nice to be in. And the gentleman before me, Morgan Mura, gave a talk on CSS media queries, and they're a the they're contributing to open standards and the W3C and stuff like that. And it was a really caring and empathetic talk. Uh, I, I really liked the tinge of personality, or the I don't know. There was just like certain empathy that I connect with in accessibility. A certain level of care that came through in Morgan's talk. So I really hope he does more of these things. He's got a knack for sharing his special interests. So that was really great. And then I went afterwards, and of course I had to make everything like technically difficult. So I show up and I bring my phone. Got my phone on this tripod here, and I'm trying to connect it to the speaker I use in the shower, and it was very chaotic because I wanted to experiment with whether or not I could give a talk that was I didn't have to talk. I don't know if I'm super self-conscious of ums or what, but the concept was to introduce a room full of people to a screen reader, and support them as it was happening. I think it worked for some people. One time I wanted to do this one time before, and I wanted to do it for 30 minutes. But I think like the first exposure to a screen reader has to be tiny, but it's really nice to be guided through it. So I'm going to walk through the visuals of this presentation, which were not my focus. The focus was to make something that sounds good, but not from my voice, which meant I listened to this a lot more than I really looked at it. So I was practicing, I was preparing, I was doing the work, and then I'd listen to it. And then I do some work around the work, and then I'd listen to it, so on and so forth. And, then I started like getting into a much tighter feedback loop. And at the end of the day, I was able to say, oh, I have a 7-minute talk if I have the screen reader on an Apple product at 60%. Like I could time it. Put my watch on. I want to get Snoopy back. God, I got this cool Snoopy at a thrift store, or needs some lights. But he supposedly has a light that turns on, and I don't know, his hat does something, but he's amazing. Anyway, so I'm gonna give like a little visual love and treatment right now, because I kind of ignored most of that when I was presenting, because of the way the screen reader rolls. So we'll see that like once I play it out the first time. So like at the beginning, this is confusing to me, because usually I start a document with a heading. Like every notebook I've ever written in my career to be a presentation starts with a pound sign. when you make this document to be an audible artifact, I just start with plain text. So like out of the gate, it's just sort of like um I'm so out of the gate, it's sort of like you don't care what this looks like. Because I don't know. It's so I had to do this banter. It's weird. It's like how do you introduce a surrogate voice? And we'll hear that later. But anyway, right, like this is where I usually start. I would have started here, but I have this weird thing and I'm not sure what to do about it. I actually don't even know how I would semantically represent it. I think that that's the thing that's confusing me about it. But nevertheless, I put a picture here. I've talked about this on some other streams. I actually made it while I was studying and preparing for the presentation. I was listening to some standards guidelines on the screen reader, and this was sort of the outcome where we think about the operable, perceivable, understandable, and robust principles of WCAG and the flexible, assistive, and compromising principles of chartability. So this kind of is the simplified representation that I use where there's like a path along that you can follow. So I've watched a critic episode recently, still funny. So part of this too was, you want to, the underlying the goal like is to introduce people to a screen reader. So you want to do these things in here in ways where it's almost like you want to make somebody question how a screen reader does that. So this is a critic, and these are critics. If we look at the source, one of them has alt text, three of them don't. So we have three decorative images and one of them with critics. So this reads well, and then we have one here with alt text, right? So there's no in this context, these images represent text. There's no reason for them to the first ones are the only ones that have like a reason to be text in here. So this is where I kind of feel like making visual art and then thinking about how it can be accessible and assistive is really good practice for becoming a better practical designer. If you have artistic and creative interest, it's a really great way to sort of test yourself. So do something that you think about visually, and sometimes you can like pull it back. Sometimes the audible aspect makes you pull it back and think about it a little bit differently. So we're talking about the visuals here. So now this visual is it's a table that doesn't need to be a table. At first, it appeared to me that it needed to be a table, but there's a convention of representing the WCAG principles in an abbreviated or acronym form, which is POUR, P-O-U-R. And when you do that, it hides the pattern that we actually gain from the chartability principles. So these chartability principles, the way that they're written, that they say that if compromising is operable and perceivable, assistive is perceivable and understandable. So when you rearrange the letters, you actually get this really cool like linear structure that we can actually go and use a little bit further and untangle in this image here, where there are the operable principles, the compromising principles, the perceivable principles. That section is glued together by the assistive principles connected to the understandable principle, flexible, and robust principles. And what happens is we go through a process of compacting down these principles to, is it robust? I made this thing operable. I made this user experience. Is it robust? Does it work on multiple browsers? Does it work on multiple screen readers? I mean, the complexity is really, really significant. But then you get that insight, and then you can go and say, from these principles and now these new things that I know, I'm going to go and make this thing operable again. And we just kind of repeat and cycle through this process. But what I found interesting about like the dissemination of this, or this like confirmation of principles, is that so we can basically just talk about the compromising principles because of the way they connect operable and perceivable. These are sensory, right? Like perceivable says all of these things need to be on a three-dimensional axis of, we have to see it, we have to hear it, we have to touch it. Audible, visual, and tactile, right? So right away, when we move away from how much labor does this take, and is it the minimum, we have these sensory aspects that start by defining this thing needs to be visual, audible, and tactile. When you cross over this like labor interface, we get to a place where is it flexible? And the flexible principle says that it's understandable and robust. So that means, is it cognitively accessible? Is the text accessible? Is it the right reading level? And is it written with robust principles that work across browsers, screen readers, devices, whole shebang? Tons of complexity. But all of this is textual. All of this is input. So our model is text goes in, some senses happen, and vibes come out. Now, I wanted to put visuals in everything just as sort of landmarks. But sometimes I didn't know how to like be creative and like one-off them. So fortunately, I've been streaming some of this work. And one of the things that they do in skateboard magazines, and at some point, this was an innovation when folks had first had video cameras and they were like recording stuff. They take stills of it. So basically, since I've been doing this work, since I have all this B-roll, I can kind of go back and say, hey, well, here we're pointing to the flexible. Things are sort of highlighted over here. And I don't know. I really think hands are a powerful form in artistic work. You can tell a lot of history in hands, So yeah, this is one of the ways that I filled that in. I don't know why I did this inset, but I feel like I could have done something like Polaroid-y, and that would have been fun. I still need to think about printing out things and then drawing on them and then screenshotting them and kind of full looping it. But then I did some shameless self-promotion for this this stream mirror that I have right now. But yeah, this is another drawing. I'm drawing on black paper. It's just like a crappy. It's not a special doodle pad. I think you can get it at a lot of art stores, but it's one of these Canson guys. And I'm just using some Sharpie metallic markers. And they seem to write super well on this paper. So yeah, no, loving it, having fun doing these. The layering's cool and stuff. It's fun to watch the ink dry. I feel like it's alcohol based or something. I don't know. And then I got really mad at a presentation one time. It was a presentation about presentations. And the presentation talked about like the mechanical properties of like a dog's nose. Super interesting, right? Like dogs smell in stereo. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, can I smell pasta over here and burnt toast over here and like know how far away it is? And then like you understand like that's why this thing's freaking out. Like there's so many smells. Like it feels like sometimes I look at sometimes I look at Little Dirty over here, and I can be like, oh shit, man, you're just like autistic, but with smells. It's not like sight and sound, but you're just freaking out because it's just like, I don't know what to do. Anyway, this presentation talking about dogs. And it was like meta, right? They were like talking about how they talked about it. So I asked a question at the end. And I was like, cool, good presentation. But you had a dog in it. What if our work doesn't involve dogs? And they're like, they didn't understand because like dogs are very, very relatable, at least to a lot of people. And, if you're an advocate, you definitely have to recognize, the cats. We did that in the section below. But yeah, after seeing this presentation that was about like, oh, this is how you should put the title, this is how you should put the bullet points. The one thing that I learned is you always put a dog in your presentation. I don't think they meant to make that message, but dogs. So this is a little dirty. And then I asked my wife to make a little meta dirty collage, and we have him smashing the keyboard here, hopefully the application works for his tiny paws, but yeah, the point was to have a dog in here, but not only one dog but three dogs. Isn't he just the cutest? This is little dirty bastard. We love him. He's the goodest boy. Anyway, maybe one day he'll join me over here. He usually just lays in the bed. He's getting a little bit gray and old. Um, but anyway, go close this. I don't think I need this either. I'll worry about that later. Anyway, so a little dirty here. So this was interesting because since the talk was all visual, I just could I could just be like, hey, I need this picture in a few hours, because there's a lot of work that went into this. It's so amazing. I love it so much. It makes me so happy to see. Anyway, he's adorable. And the keyboard lighting up, oh no, all of it's just like really, really good. And he just got done crafting. He has a voracious need for E6000. He just wants to glue everything. But dirty. This issue is actually funny. I didn't link to it. But the bug description says my cat sat on the keyboard holding down the space key, and I noticed this breaks the UI. See attached screenshot. So good boys, good girls, and cats. So yeah, this year, this is me on. I really like collage and like just sticking stuff together. that doesn't need to be together. You know, like I feel like Good Grief is stuck together and it doesn't need to be stuck together. But somehow, like somebody E6000 that shit, and now culturally it's like irrevocable. So I don't know. When I do calligraphy, um, damn it, it's super annoying. Every time you undo it, you have to redo the gain. Okay, so yeah, every time I do calligraphy, it's just like put these words together, and then you start to think a little bit differently about how all those words are associated. But this is a collage of pages from this book, Specimens of Chromatic Wood Type. It's from 1874, and it is just an absolutely stunning. It's one of the prettiest books I own, especially when you consider like when it was made in. Here I am going and doing this tufty bullshit where I'm just like, oh, I'll show you my books. But this book's just so. I really wish I could like touch and feel the original one because it would clearly have more textures to it from the printing, but it's an absolutely gorgeous book, and I ruined it by collaging all this shit together. And what this is the operable, flexible, perceivable, assistive, understandable, compromising, and robust principles, using just some cropped up stuff from this book that I chopped up in Google Slides, and this is what we get. But anyway, this one I don't know, and I like it, and you know I don't make the best art. I'm not really interested in it, so like it's really good and effective. Like I used the dog in here. Another gimmick is to use other people's art, specifically things that are like relatable at like mass culture, because like I think in a presentation it like really connects you to, or it's sort of grounding to, like, you know, if especially if you're like demonstrating something that isn't familiar, it's good to put familiar things in there, using brand relationships and brand identities and all that kind of stuff. Do these little mermaid diagrams. They're kind of a nice little visual. This is another screen grab because I couldn't figure out what to put for understandable. So this one here, like since I rotate the papers when I'm writing and I'm drawing and stuff like that, the sometimes it's upside down. So this screen grab, it was like definitely tilted. So rotate it and crop it, and this is what we get. But I actually kind of don't hate it. It's sort of odd to see an image framed this way, and I sort of like that. It might be really nice to just like make these corners transparent or something like that. But you can see how it sort of flips and bends something kind of mundane into, I don't know, gives it interesting dynamics. You track the image sort of on a diagonal rather than like left to right. It's sort of odd. I like it. And at one point here, I could I was running out of time, and I never was able to think about a picture in the process. And I think that that's because like the concepts that I towards the end of a presentation are the least clear ones, but specifically like this concept of the robust principle is, it's very much framework. It's in that textual layer, and it's not really seen or acknowledged. That's why I call it specter. So it's like hard to draw. Uh, it's it's that sci it's like a sci-fi challenge to acknowledge all of these things that are sort of like, yapping at you and being like, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. And like finding the happy minima between all of them is really where the design is. So I thought it was interesting to just draw it out. I don't know where that book is. God, so many books. I know what I want to look for. It's on the computer. Magritte, objects, words, ambiguity, drawing. No, no. There's a thing. This thing. This thing. There's an English version somewhere out there. First impressions. The Riddler. This is words and images. Magritte. Oh, maybe this was the whole piece. Man, I don't know where the English version of this is. I'm a human. But basically, it's sort of like talking about how like a word can replace an image, or the sun, right? Um, I don't know. I wish I had the. I'm trying to remember where. How do I search? There's a PDF that does like an analysis of this. And I have the book somewhere in English. That's what we want. This, what you got? You got something good for me? Script? No. English. I sometimes I get really bummed that I have to consume so much of like French literature in English. This is important to me. PDF English reality Magritte on words and images. So these became paintings. Okay, so here's some stuff. An object is not so attached to its name that one cannot find for it another one which is more suitable. So this leaf is the canon. It's sort of about plays on words and arbitrariness, but ultimately making you think. Sometimes the name of an object occupies the place of an image. A word can take the place of an object in reality. So there's lots of ways to think about how we can play on reality. And I don't know. Like sometimes I think that like things that you don't know are surreal, and to make them real, it's almost like the work of surrealism. So I'll know like there are functional art principles to take from surrealism in teaching, perhaps. Anyway, this was in a painting. The words are of the same substance as the images. So this is the dude who did This Is Not a Pipe, right? So like the words and the pipe are the same material. It's kind of interesting, right? Because the text is the same material for sight and sound when we're developing things, when we're developing accessible things. All right, so I got off on my bullshit. Maybe we'll come back to that a little bit later. We found this Magritte stuff, super fun. Okay, present. Back to this. So yeah, I guess it was like using text and hyperbole to like create an image that the screen reader spoke. And that's the end. So what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 images. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 original works and 2 screenshots and 1 steal. That's not too bad. All right. Let's hear what it sounds like. And while that's going on, I'm going to like keep. So we did the walkthrough and we talked about the process, which is cool. So let's cross that off. So now let's go to the listen and edit part here. And moving along. Okay, so where do I want to be? I want to be drawing with the screen reader probably. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start cracking on this this last. I'm gonna start on this last task while I start listening to the first pass here. So I'm not going to do any talking while I'm writing that notebook. But it'll give me some preparation for when I need to actually do things. So this should probably take 15 to 20 minutes, I suppose. And I'm going to actually... Nope, I want to... Stopwatch. I mean, I probably have it over here, but I've already started. Okay, so we're going to go to the listening portion of this. So we are going to listen to... Okay, stop. All right, great. Fade. So we're going to fade over here. And then I'm going to get a notebook open. Okay. And we're going to get another piece of paper. Actually, yeah, we'll take some notes down the side here. Still trying to figure it out. Once I figure this out, it's going to be like absolutely solid, I hope. All right, so we need that. We need this. I need a new notebook. Let me just make sure my imports work, because last time they didn't work, and that like really from Pandas import star. Okay, good. Because like last time this stuff didn't show up, and it was really frustrating because then I can't like tend to the stream as much. I actually like really stopped talking, and when I listened to it, it sort of sucked. But anyway, we're gonna need that. And then the other thing we've already downloaded our okay, let me get the path. All right, I should be talking. So I just want to make sure that I can get the download. Okay. Whatever. It's probably not what I want. I don't know why it has to fill that in. So there's that document there. And then we should be able to, from pathlib, import path. And then we have the OCR, and we're going to call that path. We're going to read text. Actually, we're going to pipe this for the sake of readability. Path. So this is kind of, more of the framework stuff. So now we want to do method caller, read text, and then we're going to pass that into beautiful soup with features equals HTML.parser. So that's just the out box John that we get. And now we've got a note. Okay, so we've got to do expand user. Can't figure out how to get up. Oi, almost there. Oh no, let's. This is awkward. Path, expand user. Path, read text. That's right. This is right. Okay, cool, great, love it. Do it. Okay, so now OCR looks like this, and it's XML, and now I can rock on that while we are getting the presentation queued up. Okay, it says the screen reader is on, but I am not seeing where it's going to. So let me Bluetooth devices. So we don't want the AirPods connected right now. And I've got them on my ears. So, oh, right. This is showing. Where's my audio? Oh, okay. There's my audio. Great. iPhone screen has nothing happening to it. Huh. Okay. Let's see. I don't understand why. Give me a quick second here. Okay. So if I know why. So if I go over my QuickTime, I've got it over here. There we go.
Voice over hearing devices button.
Great.
App switch files active. Files.
Okay. So this is actually how I presented was on this little guy. I didn't want to. I needed to hold it in. So first of all, like took this notebook that I just showed, and I exported it to HTML, and then I just emailed this to myself, and I opened it up in the email browser, and it seemed to do the trick.
Clock 1:33 p.m.
Okay.
Double tap to open. App switcher files active. Files active.
Okay.
2000 high main landmark.
All right. Let's listen. So I spec'd the talk for 60%. But somebody asked me early on to slow it. And I really wanted to do it at this 55%. So that's what I stream at. I prefer to listen to it a little bit faster. but I think I might have overwhelmed people at first.
Screen dimmed.
So it's interesting to like be like, oh, like what's getting double captured? Mac OS screen is get iPhone screen. I'm gonna make that one go away, and then same. Okay, iPhone screen. Which one is this? iPhone screen. Okay, great.
Voiceover off.
Okay. So now it
Voiceover
should be
on.
going through
Weather.
one channel.
Lummi Island. Current
there should-
location. 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunny. News.
Okay.
Apps. Files. Files. Active. Files.
All right.
2025. 05. 01 present. Actions menu. Button.
So introducing folks to a screen reader this way, I think it was actually really good that somebody asked me to slow it down, and I could, so we could like demonstrate like some like level of control that we have with this thing, because like I think one of the most important things to know is how to turn off your screen reader, because it really does change the phone and the way it operates. So let's listen to this. And remember, this is written in the context of
Screen
me
dimmed.
presenting to
I'm
an
the default
audience
screen
of
reader
people.
on. Hi, main. Hi, what's up, folks? The voice you are hearing, me. I'm Samantha. I'm the default screen reader on Red Apple. Things. And if you own one of them, then I am in your pocket. Tonifist. Link. Agreed to present and then decided to art instead. Seriously, this dude about to cram web content accessibility guidelines into a 7-minute talk. Ambitious. If you have any questions and issues, please raise your hand and Tonifist will have something to do. Otherwise, save questions well. Let's bring the pain. Hardcore to your brain. Ellipsis. Let's go inside my astral plane. Ellipsis. Me. Ellipsis. Samantha. Ellipsis. Principles for designing assistive technology. Heading Level 1. Web accessibility is a world of pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland. Digital Mad Max. It's easy to be a critic. Image. Enlightenment comes when you can design accessible experiences that bring joy. The feeling that this thing was made for you. The feeling you and your sensory needs were included. Do it right and you can quiet the critics. Image. Designing with WCAG. Heading Level 2. There are ARIA practice guides. Link. But they're sus AF. There are frameworks. But they don't know your design goals. You learn to trust people like Marcy Sutton. Link. Adrian Roselli. Link. Rachel DiTullio. Link. Sarah Sawedan. Link. Eric Bailey. Link. Frank Elapsky. Link. And outlets like G. Link. Hell. Link. WCAG is not a design system. Heading Level 3. WCAG ain't a design framework.
It was funny. It's interesting because like when you're like presenting this, you're looking at the audience, and I think people were sort of laughing at some of the quirks here. So some of this was like meant to expose people to like the reality of using a screen reader, like in the way that people could write. So what do emojis sound like, what do acronyms sound like all that kind of stuff is not necessarily like a goal, but it is a
Screen dimmed. WCAG is not a design system. Heading Level
it
3.
is a change of frame when you're presenting.
WCAG is not a design system. Heading Level 3. WCAG ain't a design framework, y'all. There really isn't one.
So when I designed this
There really
and
isn't
developed this originally, I actually had on Mac.
Voiceover on Firefox. What's up, folks? Group. Hi, group. You are. Hi, what's up, folks? The voice you are hearing. Me. I'm seriously this dude about to cram. Jupyter Lab. Group.
Okay. Over here, let's see.
Markdown cell content. Image.
I
Edit
actually
text. Less than figure roll equals none greater than. Voiceover off.
I actually made the figure have a roll equals none. It turned out it doesn't matter on the Mac OS or the iOS.
Screen dimmed.
This thing here is fine.
WCAG ain't a design framework, y'all.
But the when this figure roll is here and you're on a Mac and you're on Mac OS and you read this.
Voiceover on Firefox. May for Markdown cell content. Group. You are currently on a group. Heading level 1. Print markdown cell content. Group. You are currently on a group. Hi, what's up folks? The voice you are hearing, me, I'm Samantha. I'm the default screen reader on button. Leave May 1st to open. Note lock 1 save visited link image Jupiter. You are currently ignore cells. Group. Markdown cell
Oh,
content.
Jupiter
Group.
fucking
What's up folks?
sucks
Hi,
with the
what's
screen
markdown cell
reader.
content image. You are currently on a group. Markdown cell content. Group. Web accessibility is a world of pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland. Digital Mad Max. Figure. Web accessibility is a world of pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland. Digital Mad Max. Image. Marked. Voiceover off.
So it gets repeated twice when it doesn't have when it has the figure roll. I was going to like leave that in there in case I had to present from my laptop, but I have, since we went through the visuals already, I have 11 figures. So that means 11 figure captions would have got reread, which basically turns into a minute of talking time. So it didn't really seem to make much sense to do that way. So these roles have none. And, aria number 2 is don't change the semantics. But for the sake of the presentation, I felt like I had to. Cool.
Screen reader on Red Apple. Things. And if page 2 of page 3, page 4 of 39, page 5 of 39. But there, page 6 of 39. There really isn't one. Image PNG. Image. WCAG first principles challenging to design with. The WCAG guidelines are heuristics for testing accessibility. And design is a non-goal. If you figure out how to design with WCAG, you'll be able to stand back and look at the floor you made. You'll thinking, damn, that's a good floor. People are going to love sitting on it, and now you're hosting the worst house with garden party to design with WCAG. We need to trust their modern advances in floors. Now, we can build SCADA parks, places of creation. We need more ramps and places to sit. Just so you know, this WCAG party is a bring your own chair BIOC. Chartability second order accessibility principles. Heading level 2. Personally, I've had to fill in a lot of blanks between data work and accessibility. Chartability is an extended set of principles designed for testing data visualization that establishes framework around WCAG. That's what I want to share with you today. Smiling face with sunglasses? Assistive technology. Understandable and perceivable but labor-reducing. Interface must be intelligent and multisensory in a way that reduces the cognitive and functional labor required for use. Chartability's assistive principle is door into all of the WCAG principles because it measures the outcome of design. Our primary object to ensure that we minimize labor. Assistive indicates it is critical. Consider appropriate information density. Link. And include acceptable levels of...
That sounded horrible. That is the moment when somebody was like, slow this down. It's interesting. When you like use like links and stuff like that, it actually gives like, and it like announces those things. It actually almost gives like time to process. So like using bold and using links and stuff like that will actually like break up the way this thing sounds. What is that? Oh, I got it. So that needs to
Screen
get
dim.
fixed. Let's find out where we are. I was adding a link because when we look at this, Chartability doesn't have a link. I usually don't put links in headings because it's a weird mix of semantics to me. Like a heading should be part of the document, not take you outside of it. And then assistive principles. Okay. All right, let's hear this.
Voiceover on Firefox. May 1st, 2025 present. Window. Has keyboard focus. Cell toolbar. Button. You are currently on a button. Heading level 3. Assistive. Clickable. Understandable and perceivable but labor reducing. Interface. Chartability's assistive principle is door into all of the WCAG principles because it measures the outcome of design. Clickable. Heading level 3. 2 items. Left parenthesis. Understandable. And. Heading level 3. Assistive. Technology. 2 items. You are currently on a text element. Edit text. Number. Voiceover off.
Okay. Is the door into all of the web? I think that this is the first time I bring this in. So we're going to put an abbreviation web content accessibility guidelines, because this is the like right semantics for it. I hate capital letters. It measures the outcome of our design. Goal. Did we minimize or reduce labor? And I kind of like personal, like if I ever want to go back to, I have a personal habit of using these quotes here, just because it's better, more parsable as data. The assistive, critical considerations for the assistive principle include appropriate information density, acceptable levels of effort, and these link back to chartability. So now we're here.
Voiceover cell tool button. Heading level 3. Assistive. Clickable. Heading level 3. Assistive. Clickable. Technology. Clickable. 2 items. Technology. Technology. Clickable. Technology. Clickable. Link. Information density. List 2 items. You are currently on a link. Bullet appropriate. Clickable. List 2 items. Critical considerations for the assistive principle. Did we minimize or reduce labor? Click principles because it measures the outcome of our design. End of. Content accessibility guidelines. Group. Content accessibility guidelines. Group. WCAG. Principles because it measures the outcome of our design goal. Did we minimize or reduce labor? Right double quotation mark. Critical considerations for the assistive principle implied. List 2 items. Bullet appropriate. Link. But labor reducing. But labor reducing. Interface must be intelligent and multisensory in a way that reduces the cognitive and functional labor required for use. You are currently on a link. To click this link, press link. Information density. Bullet. Link. Acceptable levels of effort to navigate with mouse, keyboard, and screen reader. These critical design goals are negations of the testing heuristics. Good assistive technologies reduce labor for their users and meet folks where they are. Markdown cell content. Chartability choice. Assistant. Markdown heading level 3. Voiceover off.
It's interesting. I don't know. I don't know what level of. Maybe I don't know if I'm just, I misspell stuff a lot. Like I've listened to this so many times, and I'm missing so many spelling mistakes and stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I struggle with what my brain is actually doing here, but that's what we're doing. We're editing. It's part of the process. We're supposed to accept it. That's even part of the presentation. So now I'm gonna make these. I'm gonna keep making these changes, and then I'm gonna send over a new version, and then we're going to record that. Killer. So should we listen to this one more time?
Voiceover on Firefox. May 1st, 2025 present. Window. Has keyboard focus. You are currently cell toolbar. Toolbar. That button. You are heading level 3. Assistive. Clickable. Technology. Clickable. Heading level 3. Assistive. Clickable. Technology. Clickable. 2 items. Assistive. Technology. Understandable and perceivable but labor reducing. Interface must be intelligent and multisensory in a way that reduces the cognitive and functional labor required for use. Chartability choice assistive principle is stored into all of the content accessibility guidelines. Group. WCAG. Principles because it measures the outcome of our design goal. Did we minimize or reduce labor? Right double quotation mark. Critical considerations for the assistive principle include. List 2 items. Bullet appropriate. Link. Information density. Bullet. Link. Acceptable levels of effort to navigate with mouse, keyboard, and screen reader. These critical design goals are negations of the testing heuristics. Good assistive technologies reduce labor for heading level 3. Heading level 2. Design. You are currently in a group. To exit this group, assistive. Selected. Greater design. Selected. Space. Save page as. Cells. Group. Markdown cell content. Group. Voiceover off.
All right.
To page 3. Critic. Page 5. Page 6. Page 8. Page 9. But like page 11, page 12, page 13 of 30, page 14 of, page 15, page 16, page 7, page 18 of, page 19 of 30, page 20, basic, page 21, page 22 of 39.
I think we're just
Page
assistive.
21, page 20, page 19 of 39, page 18 of, page 17 of 39, page 16 of 39, page 15 of 30, page 14, containers, page 13 of 39. Opening double, page 12 of 39, page 11 of 39. Indicates it is critical, consider appropriate. Information density, link, and include acceptable levels of effort to navigate, link, with mouse, keyboard, and screen reader. These critical design goals are negations of the testing heuristics. Good assistive technologies reduce labor for their users and meet folks where they are. Accessibility is process, an engine, heading level 2. The process is continued fine-tuning of text and verifying their perception on different devices. This engine drives web accessibility. There are top-level principles of tag and chartability that we cycle through when developing and testing there.
Yeah, I just got stressed out, right? Because I was what was I just talking about? I was getting stressed out about like missing words and misspelling words and stuff, right? But it's a process. It's like really important to accept, especially those people who might have perfection issues. Anyway.
Sensory principles. Description list start. Turn. Things we see, hear, and touch. Operable, flexible, perceivable. Assistive textual principles. The source code magic wand. Understandable, compromising, robust. When we do accessibility work, we turn text into vibes. Then brace for the blows when testing and verifying standards compliance. The accessibility process, it is a defensive strategy for the future. Read defensive as security. There are frequent iterations between testing and development, where we want to start asking questions like, bullet, list start. How did this lil text change sound? Bullet. How many tab stops will we endure before we stand up and say I've had too much? An answer is to a skip link over that region. Flexible sensory technology. All controls must be error tolerant, discoverable, and multimodal, not just mouse operable, but using keyboard, etc. The flexibility chartability principle describes the co-development between tags perceivable and operable principles. A screen grab of stream preparing for this work. Image. Link to the tangle and weave stream. Link. The flexibility principle states it is critical to user design respects user style changes. Where we lose guidance from web principles, we can steer towards the basic game accessibility guidelines. Link. A way to design flexible experiences to avoid encoding developer/design opinions and offering settings and options to change how the content is perceived. Perceivable technology. Heading level 3. User must be able to easily identify content using their senses, sight, sound, and touch. Image PNG. Image. Holy crap, this is so dry, dude. I want to entertain these folks. Maybe they want real rap from a B. 4 stars. Like they out rap in a B. 4 stars. Boom bap. Rap. Rap. Rappity rap rap rappity rap. PFFF. Boom bap 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 and it boom. And it bap and it bounce. And it clap and it's house. And it's trap, it's everything, I'm everything, boom. Cap. Boom. Rap. Boom. Cat. Cat. Cat boom. Cat in a hat. Boom bap. Cat. Cat boom boom. Operable technology.
All right. Again, you have to, like when you're teaching new concepts, you have to ground people in reality. And I looked at the audience and I was like, I don't know if anybody is ever going to have heard these lyrics before. But there were 2 people in the audience who definitely did, so it worked. If nobody had heard these Dochi lyrics, then it would have been a really awkward
Heading level 3. All controls must be
situation. But I don't know. I just like really think it's funny sometimes to like ask, well, what does this thing sound like in, text? And I think what's the song of this is like boom bap or something like that. But rapidy rap just kills me. We find it very funny in this house. So a few people in the audience found it funny. A few people had zero idea. But anyway, bless Dochi.
boom bap. Rap. Rap. Rappity rap rap rappity rap. PFFF. Boom bap 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 and it boom. And it bap and it bounce. And it clap and it's house. And it's trap, it's everything, I'm everything, boom. Cap. Boom. Rap. Boom. Cat. Cat. Cat boom. Cat in a hat. Boom bap. Cat. Cat boom. Boom. Operable technology. All controls must be error tolerant, discoverable, and multimodal, not just mouse operable, but using keyboard, etc. Operable principles make it possible for folks can use it on any of their devices, and if done extremely well, maybe even good boys and good girls could even use it. Dog face. Woof. Image PNG. Image. Maybe it is even operable for those pesky felines that test signal cat broke UI by holding down space. Link. It is really fascinating when we design for a mobile screen reader. There are rich touch interactions and expressions exposed when the screen reader is on. Don't worry, it doesn't tickle. You know, cause I'm a screen reader. But you should learn a little seriously. More mobile. The youth love us and what the hell it. Link. Page 24. And if done extreme. Recents. Heading. And if done extremely well, maybe even good boys and good girls could even use it. Dog face. Woof. Principles make it possible for folks can use it on. More. Button. More. Select. But. Dismiss context. Dismiss context menu. Dismiss context menu. Button. 2025. Recents. Heading. I'm the default screen reader on vertical scroll bar. 0%, 10, 20, 30%. There are few dot. 40%. 50%. 40%. 30%. There. Hi. Main. I'm the default screen. Page 2. Page 5 of page 6 of 39. Page 8 of page 9 of 39. Page 8 of 39. Page 9, page 11 of page 12 of page 13, page 14, page 15, page 16 of 39.
All right. Come on, buddy. Things are getting spicy here.
Files, active, file.
There he
page
is.
12 of 18. And if done extremely well, maybe even good boys and good girls could even use it. Dog face. Woof. Principles make it possible for folks can use it on any of their devices. To the left, list, button. A screen grab of principles. A link to the prince, you, maybe, they want, and it boom, boom, principles make, and if done extremely well, maybe even 2025 recents, heading. Agreed to present and then decided to art, page 2 of, page 3 of 39. Page 4 of 30, page 5 of 39, page 6 of 39, page 7 of, page 8 of, and now page 9 of 30, page 10 of 39. Page 11 of 39, page 12 of 30, page 13 of 39. Page 14 of 30, page 15 of, page 16 of 39.
So many times. See, getting deep in it.
Vertical scroll bar. 44. When we do accessibility work, we turn text into vi. Vertical scroll. 50%. 60%.
So maybe this should have been. So operable is where we do.
Principles make it possible. Principles make it possible for folks can use it on any of their devices, and if done extremely well, maybe even good boys and good girls could even use it. Dog face. Woof. Image PNG. Image. Maybe it is even operable for those pesky felines that test signal cat broke UI by holding down space. Link. It is really fascinating when we design for a mobile screen reader. There are rich touch interactions and expressions exposed when the screen reader is on. Don't worry, it doesn't tickle. You know, cause I'm a screen reader. But you should learn a little seriously. More mobile. The youth love us and what the hell is. Tonifist. Even doing. Standing there. Twiddling thumbs. Couldn't this have just been email? Compromising text.
I really had no idea what to do in like making when I was like standing there. Because like 7 minutes isn't really enough time to do like a drawing or anything. So I spent a lot of time watching people and it seemed like people were engaged. I think I cut off some people's questions at the end, but I was like racing. But anyway, it's a weird outcome of doing a presentation this way. Oh no, not again.
2025.
Why does it keep doing this?
Heading. The voice you are hearing. Me. I'm Samantha.
Fuck. Dude.
I'm the vertical scroll bar. 10, 30, 40, 50%. Principles make it possible for folks can. Page 25 of 39. Page 26 of 39. Don't worry, it doesn't tickle. You know, cause I'm a screen reader. But you should learn a little seriously. More mobile. The youth love us and what the hell is. Tonifist. Even doing. Standing there. Twiddling thumbs. Couldn't this have just been email? Compromising textual technology. Understandable. Yet robust. Information flows must provide transparency, tolerance, and consideration for different ways that users with assistive technologies and disabilities will prefer to consume different information. Text/movable type separated language from the senses.
That's such a hard sentence to actually concept to
Image.
actually
Text slash colon
put
information
into
flows must
words.
provide transparency,
Like, hella
tolerance, and
respect.
consideration for different. Page 26 of 39. And what the hell is tonifist? Page 27 of 39. Text slash movable type separated language from the senses. And that remains the same when it comes to accessible web designs. A collage of the letters OFPAUC are collaged from specimens of chromatic wood type. Image. The choices you make in text make waves throughout the electromagnetic spectrum that meet our senses. Peter Saville's visualization of CP 1919. Link. Image. Our input text is interpreted by user agents, egg browsers, screen readers, to create perceivable information. The compromising chartability principle connects the textual principles of WCAG. Seriously, it is a miracle that text turns into screen reader experiences. And images and data visualization. They bring me to life. But life is pain for a screen reader if we design an assistive technology. Understandable technology. Any information or data are presented without ambiguity, with clarity, and in a way that minimizes cognitive load. For any task to be successful, motivation must equal or surpass cognitive load, cognitive exclusion. Link. Another lazy screen grab from that stream this dude keeps bringing up. Image. Link to the tangle and weave stream. Link. Bullet. List start. Making content usable for people with cognitive and learning disabilities. Link. Bullet. Life is made of numbers and accessible numbers. Link. Is critical to people's economic security. Nearly half the UK's working age adult population, 49%, have numeracy skills roughly equivalent to those expected of children at primary school. Bullet. Using plain language, link, list and robust technology. The design is compliant with existing standards and works with the user's compliant, assistive technologies of choice. Did Tonifist just give up? WTF. No picture. What Tonifist? Couldn't come with some grade school design to show the specters of WCAG, AX, ARIA, APG, ADAPT, KOGA, Y, W3C, ACT, HTML, ADAPT, JS APIs, DOM. AOM that couldn't have been so hard to illustrate. It's simply the alphabet soup from hell. It fights you on the way down and crawls out in constant Sisyphean battle for relevance. Draw that. Practicing designing accessible content. Heading level 2. You're going to need dry saltines to get this soup down. Good thing there are enough standards and documentation to go around. HTML is the most assistive standard for developers building accessible web content. Bullet. List start. A truly assistive unit takes a lot of work and practice. 1 of 7. Bullet. Learn your screen reader. You have at least 1. 2 of 7. Bullet. Build from HTML basics. Using HTML semantics properly will get us closer the accessible solutions than going the JavaScript. Web accessibility only cares about information in DOM. All JavaScript areas opaque. 3 of 7. Bullet. Learn ARIA techniques to modify how visual information sounds while considering ARIA rules. Link. Bullet. Let evil rot. Link. Bullet. Think about how your works make you feel across all your available senses. 6 of 7. Bullet. Overall, the most costly aspect of designing for accessibility is leaving it to the end. Testing is one part of the process. 7 of 7. List end. The most successful accessibility designers will start designing with accessibility principles. They'll learn to play standards like a deck of cards. They'll realize HTML is a labor reducing for developers because it builds out the assistive technology experiences. Build your deck. Vertical scroll bar. 44 pages. 100%. Adjustable.
All right, cool. So we got through that, and I think I cleaned it up enough to actually, like, I'm not going to add too many more links. There's, like, enough in here. Let's see, how many, let's get up to the tippity top. Let's get our mouse here, and then let's go and do F12, and then let's see. There's the, is it in accessibility? There we go. Let's see what we got.
Screen dimmed.
Okay. Oh no, it doesn't scroll, dude. Okay, so this is probably because there's virtual scrolling on. Let's see, cause let's see. I'm just gonna take like a notebook I've written, and then we're gonna developer tools it, and then we're gonna do show tab order. And I'm curious, does this do it? Yeah, okay. So this is the expected behavior, and the behavior we get is actually this. So something about the rendering doesn't know where anything is, which doesn't really like help me. Maybe I can go, all right, I'm gonna go here, crack open developer tools, and then I'm going, actually, I want to go down here. But I need focus to be up at the top. Ugh. Okay, there's a good place to focus. And then we're going to go F12, and then we're going to do show tabbing order, and then we minimize this and we go back. Huh? Yeah, bro. I don't know what the fuck. There's no way that's the 11th tab. No. Oh, bro. Okay, this is something doesn't know something. Okay, this is a good check, just not on this website. Fuck. I really wanted to know. I don't want to. I hate counting tabs. All right, I'm not going to, but I'm going to. Oh no, this should stay here. Click. That's an anti-pattern. I don't like it. Um, yeah, like sure there should be no. If I click there, it should just like reset me to root. Um, but I want to go and do. So this is how I've been sharing the work, is just exporting it. And if you notice, it's really big. So I still got to figure out how to. I guess still got to write a notebook to resize an image. It shouldn't be all that bad, I don't think. I don't remember how to do it. I might actually ask a chat thing for it. I hate that idea. I just don't want to put it all together myself. I think I know how to do it. I've had to do it in JavaScript recently or something. So airdrop.
Voiceover off.
Okay. Okay. So now that should be uploading. Okay. So now we're back to our presentation there. And okay. Okay. All right. Let me find the stream again. All right. So for this, I'm going to go dark. And I'm just going to actually record only the iPhone scene. Maybe with my like tangle and weave pictures. We'll see. iPhone screen. And then this should just be like the whole thing. Okay. And I guess we're getting that title up at the top. That's gonna be how it is. Okay. So now we're over here. What's up, folks? This should be. I don't need to. Oh no, I need this to stay in place. If I start fucking with this shit while it's going, bruh, no. Okay. All right. I want this to be a 7-minute video. This should be around a 7-minute video. All right. I'm going to turn the sound off and we're going to record. Oops, it doesn't. Okay, we are missing a sound channel, I think, over here. iPhone screen. Let's see.
Principles for designing assistive
Okay,
technology.
now I
Heading
got it.
level 1.
Great. Cool beans. Now this recording should work, and then I'll go dark. I'll go dark and then start. Nope, hold on, not yet. I want to do some cropping here. Okay, how do I do filters? No, it's not filters. It's transform. Uh,
Screen dimmed.
Edit transform. And then we want to do a crop from the top here. I think that's good. And then we kind of want that like that. And
Principles for page. What's up, folks? 2025. Hi, Maine. Landmark.
okay. So now this should be the presentation. Let's go.
Hi, Maine. Landmark. What's up, folks? The voice you are hearing, me, I'm Samantha. I'm the default screen reader on Red Apple. Things. And if you own one of them, then I am in your pocket. Tonifist. Link. Agreed to present and then decided to art instead. Seriously, this dude about to cram web content accessibility guidelines into a 7-minute talk. Ambitious. If you have any questions and issues, please raise your hand and Tonifist will have something to do. Otherwise, save questions well. Let's bring the pain hardcore to your brain. Ellipsis. Let's go inside my astral plane. Ellipsis. Me. Ellipsis. Samantha. Ellipsis. Principles for designing assistive technology. Heading level 1. Web accessibility is a world of pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland. Digital Mad Max. It's easy to be a critic. Image. Enlightenment comes when you can design accessible experiences that bring joy. The feeling that this thing was made for you. The feeling you and your sensory needs were included. Do it right and you can quiet the critics. Image. Designing with WCAG. Heading level 2. There are ARIA practice guides. Link. But they're sus AF. There are frameworks. But they don't know your design goals. You learn to trust people like Marcy Sutton. Link. Adrian Roselli. Link. Comma. Rachel DiTullio. Link. Comma. Sarah Sawedan. Link. Comma. Eric Bailey. Link. Comma. Frank Elapsky. Link. And outlets like G. Link. Hell. Link. WCAG is not a design system. Heading level 3. WCAG ain't a design framework, y'all. There really isn't one. Image PNG. Image. WCAG first principles are challenging to design with. The WCAG guidelines are heuristics for testing accessibility. And design is a non-goal. If you figure out how to design with WCAG, you'll be able to stand back and look at the floor you made. You'll thinking, damn, that's a good floor. People are going to love sitting on it, and now you're hosting the worst house with garden party. To design with WCAG, we need to trust their modern advances in floors. Now, we can build SCADA parks. Places of creation. We need more ramps. And places to sit. Just so you know, this WCAG party is a bring your own chair BIOC. Chartability. Second order accessibility principles. Heading level 2. Personally, I've had to fill in a lot of blanks between data work and accessibility. Chartability. Link. Is an extended set of principles designed for testing data visualization that establishes framework around WCAG. That's what I want to share with you today. Smiling face with sunglasses? Assistive. Heading level 3. Technology. Heading level 3. Left paren. Understandable. And perceivable. But labor reducing. Interface must be intelligent and multisensory in a way that reduces the cognitive and functional labor required for use. Chartability's assistive principle is door into all of the WCAG principles because it measures the outcome of our design goal. Did we minimize or reduce labor? Critical considerations for the assistive principle include bullet. List start. Appropriate. 1 of 2. Information density. Link. Bullet. Acceptable levels of effort to navigate. Link. With mouse, keyboard, and screen reader. List end. These critical design goals are negations of the testing heuristics. Good assistive technologies reduce labor for their users and meet folks where they are. Accessibility is process. An engine. Heading level 2. The process is continued fine-tuning of text and verifying their perception on different devices. This engine drives web accessibility. There are top-level principles of WCAG and chartability that we cycle through when developing and testing. There are few documents that untangle the interaction between the accessibility principles. And the goal of this talk is to present a linear way of thinking about first and second order accessibility principles. The last question in testing or compaction is this thing robust? Development and design inverts the process starting at robust then ending with is this operable? Sensory principles. Description list start. Term. Things we see, hear, and touch. Operable, flexible, perceivable. Assistive. Term. Textual principles. Term. The source code magic wand. Understandable, compromising, robust. When we do accessibility work, we turn text into vibes, then brace for the blows when testing and verifying standards compliance. The accessibility process, it is a defensive strategy for the future. Read defensive as security. There are frequent iterations between testing and development, where we want to start asking questions like, bullet, list start. How did this little text change sound? Bullet. How many tab stops will we endure before we stand up and say I've had too much? An answer could be a skip link over that region. Flexible. Heading level 2. Sensory technology. Heading level 2. All controls must be error tolerant, discoverable, and multimodal, not just mouse operable, but using keyboard, etc. The flexibility. Chartability principle describes the co-development between tags perceivable and operable principles. A screen grab of stream focusing on the concept of flexibility. Image. Link to the tangle and weave stream. Link. The flexibility principle states it is critical to user design respects user style changes. Where we lose guidance from web principles, we can steer towards the basic game accessibility guidelines. Link. A way to design flexible experiences to avoid encoding developer/design opinions and offering settings and options to change how the content is perceived. Perceivable technology. Heading level 3. User must be able to easily identify content using their senses, sight, sound, and touch. Image PNG. Image. Holy crap, this is so dry, dude. I want to entertain these folks. Maybe they want real rap from a B. 4 stars. Like they out rap in a B. 4 stars. Boom bap. Rap. Rap. Rappity rap rap rappity rap. PFFF. Boom bap 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 and it boom. And it bap and it bounce. And it clap and it's house. And it's trap, it's everything, I'm everything, boom. Cat. Boom. Rap. Boom. Cat. Cat. Cat boom. Cat in a hat. Boom bap. Cat. Cat boom, face with open eyes and mouth with head exploding. Operable. Heading level 3. Technology. Heading level 3. All controls must be error tolerant, discoverable, and multimodal, not just mouse operable, but using keyboard, etc. Operable. Principles make it possible for folks to use designs on any of their devices, and if done extremely well, maybe even the good boys and good girls could even use it. Dog face. Woof. Image PNG. Image. Maybe it is even operable. For those pesky felines that test signal, cat broke UI by holding down space. Link. It is really fascinating when we design for a mobile screen reader. There are rich touch interactions and expressions exposed when the screen reader is on. Don't worry, it doesn't tickle. You know, cause I'm a screen reader. But you should learn a little seriously. More mobile. The youth love us. And what the hell is Tonifist even doing? Standing there, twiddling thumbs. Couldn't this have just been email? Compromising. Heading level 2. Textual technology. Heading level 2. Left paren. Understandable. Yet. Robust. Information flows must provide transparency, tolerance, and consideration for different ways that users with assistive technologies and disabilities will prefer to consume different information. Text/movable type separated language from the senses. And that remains the same when it comes to accessible web designs. A collage of the letters OFPAUCR from end quote. Specimens of chromatic wood type end quote. Image. The choices you make in text make waves throughout the electromagnetic spectrum that meet our senses. Peter Sutherland's visualization of CP 1919. Link. Image. Our input text is interpreted by user agents, egg browsers, screen readers, to create perceivable information. The compromising chartability principle connects the textual principles of WCAG. Seriously, it is a miracle that text turns into screen reader experiences, and images and data visualization. They bring me to life, but life is pain for a screen reader if we design an assistive technology. Understandable. Heading level 3. Technology. Heading level 3. Any information or data are presented without ambiguity, with clarity, and in a way that minimizes cognitive load. For any task to be successful, motivation must equal or surpass cognitive load. Link. Another lazy screen grab from that stream this dude keeps bringing up. Image. Link to the tangle and weave stream. Link. Bullet. List start. Making content usable for people with cognitive and learning disabilities. Link. Bullet. Life is made of numbers and accessible numbers. Link. Is critical to people's economic security. Nearly half the UK's working age adult population, 49%, have numeracy skills roughly equivalent to those expected of children at primary school. Bullet. Using plain language. Link. List end. Robust. Heading level 3. Technology. Heading level 3. The design is compliant with existing standards and works with the user's compliant, assistive technologies of choice. Did Tonifist just give up? WTF. No picture? What Tonifist couldn't come with some grade school design to show the specters of WCAG, AX, ARIA, APG, ADAPT, KOGA, Y, W3C, ACT, HTML, ADAPT, JS APIs, DOM, AOM. That couldn't have been so hard to illustrate. It's simply the alphabet soup from hell. It fights you on the way down and crawls back out in constant Sisyphean battle for relevance. Draw that. Practicing designing accessible content. Heading level 2. You're going to need dry saltines to get this soup down. Good thing there are enough standards and documentation to go around. Bullet. List start. A truly assistive unit takes a lot of work and practice. 1 of 7. Bullet. Learn your screen reader. You have at least 1. 2 of 7. Bullet. Build from HTML basics. 3 of 7. HTML is the most assistive standard for developers building accessible web content. Using HTML semantics properly will get us closer to the accessible solutions than going the JavaScript. Web accessibility only cares about information in DOM. All JavaScript area is opaque. Bullet. Learn ARIA techniques to modify how visual information sounds while considering ARIA rules. Link. Bullet. Let evil rot. Link. Bullet. Think about how your works make you feel across all your available senses. 6 of 7. Bullet. Overall, the most costly aspect of designing for accessibility is leaving it to the end. 7 of 7. List end. The most successful accessibility designers will start designing with accessibility principles. They'll learn to play standards like a deck of cards. They'll realize HTML is a labor reducing for developers because it builds out the assistive technology experiences. Build your deck. Vertical scroll bar. 44 pages. 100%. Adjustable.
Alrighty, I think that worked. Oops. I should go recording. Then
Screen
open this
dimmed.
up over here. Go. Why won't it go to the other side? Why? Oh, because it's full screen. Okay. So now this is that.
Hi, main, landmark. What's up, folks? The voice you are hearing, me, I'm Samantha. I'm the default screen reader on Red Apple. Things. And if you own one of them, then I am in your pocket. Get. Tonifist. Link. Agreed to present and then decided to art instead. Seriously, this dude about to cram web content accessibility guidelines into a 7-minute talk. Ambitious. If you have any questions and issues, please raise your hand and
How long
Tonifist will
is it?
have something to do. Otherwise, save questions well. Let's bring the
7:37.
pain.
It got a
Hardcore to your
little
brain.
long.
Ellipsis.
Whatever.
Let's go
I'm gonna
inside
roll
my
with
astral
it.
plane. Ellipsis. Me. Ellipsis. Samantha. Ellipsis. Principles for Designing Assistive Technology. Heading Level 1. Web accessibility is a world of pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland. Digital Mad Max. It's easy to be a critic. Image. Enlightenment comes when you can design accessible experiences that bring joy. The feeling that this thing was made for you. The feeling you and your sensory needs were included.
This
Do
is
it right
clean.
and you
I
can
like that
quiet
there's
the
no
critics.
ums.
Image.
I
Designing with
always worry
WCAG.
about
Heading
that.
Level 2. There are ARIA practice guides. Link. But they're sus AF. There are frameworks. But they don't know your design goals. You learn to trust people like Marcy Sutton. Link. Adrian Roselli, link, comma, Rachel DiTullio, link, comma, Sarah Sawedan, link, comma, Eric Bailey, link, comma, Frank Galapsky, link, and outlets like G, link, hell, link. WCAG is not a design system. Heading level 3.
Acronyms are
WCAG
so
ain't a
funny.
design
I hate
framework, y'all. There
acronyms.
really isn't one. Image PNG, image. WCAG first
I
principles
should
are
be.
challenging to design with. The WCAG guidelines are
I dig like spot check bomb. Very happy about this. It's really this is a facet of the work that I haven't seen before. Just the clean screen reader version. It's fucking tidy. It looks like I got a shirt and tie on, but I ain't got that. God, I hate that. There's some dude from New Zealand called a tie, a colonizer's noose. I want to meet that guy. Anyway, I'm going to take a digression over here and go and start uploading this video over to YouTube. And this, what is this called? We should rename this file, news, open file, open location. No. Where are you? Okay, that's a fine. Like I really like dates. I do remember often what I was doing at a point in time. So if I can like figure out what day it was, if anything significant happened, I'm good. Movie and is this one, and I'm just gonna go over here. Cool, love it. All right. Seems like I can start. Oof. All right. Seems like I can. Okay. So that's gonna take a little bit to upload. It's probably gonna do some damage on the stream. But nevertheless, cool. So now we gotta come up with a description for this thing. I'm afraid to move this over. Let's see. I'm not sure what I get here. Okay. It doesn't seem like there's anything specific. I don't. Okay. Anyway, so how do I do a dictation? I think there's a. Oh, I think that there's just like it's like F F5. Is that gonna do it? No, that doesn't refresh. This F5. An experimental presentation Back. Accessibility presentation. That is driven by a screen reader. Period. Return. It was originally presented to the Bellingham Codes meetup on May 1st, 2025. Bellingham Codes meetup on May 1, 2025. Period.
Voiceover on Firefox. Untitled 6 0 \n object replacement character. You are new line. Select an experimental accessibility presentation that is driven entirely by a screen reader. Selected. Edit text. Right parenthesis. You are currently on a text area. 0 \n object replacement character. S A B A B space A L K W U S T R U G 30 E the R T B I L chart of W E B web C O N T T content A C F U L I L U I L accept U T L guideline I P S I P P I C N I R P C N I P S. You are currently on a text area. Fastest rejection ever for Figma. Group cynicals. R S I P S.
I don't know if
0
I
\n
need
channel.
the iPhone connected anymore.
OBS Studio 31.0.3 Pro
Let's
text.
see.
You are currently on a vertical slider. To start interacting with the slider, press Control Option Shift down arrow.
Okay.
2:27 p.m.
OBS Studio
Stop it.
31.0.3 Profile Untitled Scenes Untitled Window.
Okay. We're going away. All right. What do I got over here? That I don't need.
OBS Studio 31.0. OBS Studio 31.0.3.
Okay,
OBS
I'm
Studio
just gonna
Spot
kill
Q.
QuickTime.
QuickTime Player. Scroll area. OBS Studio
Okay.
31.0.3 Terminal. OBS Studio 31.0.3 Profile Spot Q I C. Quick text deleted. QuickTime Player. Open window. Icon
It's
view.
closed.
QuickTime Player menu. QuickTime Player menu. Quick OBS Studio 31. Programming iPhone KBD text. Programming
Okay.
KBD text. Desktop
going on
tutorials
here?
_K2C0 Firefox. Untitled 6 window. Edit OBS Studio 31.0.3 voiceover off.
Wow. I didn't know what screen reader was on. Shit. That's crazy. That's great. Okay, that was confusing. Anyway, wow, we're dropping frames. The uploading's happening, but we're dropping frames. Whatever. Sorry if anybody is there. But where are we? Okay, so I was working on this description here, the chartability and web content accessibility guideline principles, operable. I finally remember these things and have a preferred order, flexible, perceivable. Yeah, the way they're presented now, I think makes it hard to like reason with them, and these ones are compromising and robust. Ending with suggestions with assistive approaches to practices and recommendations for developing accessible web content. I think that's good. It was originally presented at the Bellingham Codes meetup. And like when I'm doing these things, like I really want to make sure that I keep sort of like link relate, like, because sometime I might go back and be like, oh, let me like grab all of this stuff from YouTube or something like that, or Twitch, and now I have it in the description. Um, and actually, once this thing, god damn, gotta listen to this presentation so many times. It's so wild because now we need to like timestamp when we said certain things in here. Can actually do it with the QuickTime movie. Still dropping frames, whatever. QuickTime. So we wanted to get to it was 0502 movie, and it was this one. So let's go and start timestamping it. And
Hi, main, landmark. What's up,
speed it
folks?
up.
The voice you are hearing, me, I'm Samantha. I'm the default screen reader on Red Apple. Things. And if you own one of them, then I am in your pocket. Tonifist. Link. Agreed to present and then decided to art instead. Seriously, this dude about to cram web content accessibility guidelines into a 7-minute talk. Ambitious. If you have any questions and issues, please raise your hand and Tonifist will have something to do. Otherwise, say questions well. Let's bring the pain. Hardcore to your brain. Ellipsis. Let's go inside my astral plane. Ellipsis. Me. Ellipsis. Samantha. Ellipsis. Principles for designing.
Okay. So let's see. We basically have all of our headings. So 000 is the introduction from Samantha. And then where are we at right now? We are at 028. That is the principles for designing assistive technology. And then we've got
Assistive technology. Heading level 1. Web accessibility is a world of pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland. Digital Mad Max. It's easy to be a critic. Image. Enlightenment comes when you can design accessible experiences that bring joy. That brings experiences I can destroy the pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland. Digital Mad Max. It's easy to be a critic. Image. Enlightenment comes when you can accessible experiences that bring joy. And for voices today. Smiling face with Heading level 3. Left paren. Understandable.
where
And
fuck am
perceivable.
I?
Reducing. Interface must be in. Link. Comma. Eric Bailey. Link. Comma. Frank Galowski. Link. Link. And outlets like G. Link.
No.
Frank Galowski. Link. And outlets like G. Link. Help.
Trash. Oh, I should be over here actually. Whatever. Trash. I think Forky yells that in something. Forky and I get each other. Come on. Let me resize. Okay, great. So, we did
Accessible
028.
experiences that bring joy. The feeling that this thing was made for you. The feeling you and your sensory needs were included. Do it right and you can quiet the critics. Image. Designing with WCAG. Heading level 2. There are.
Okay.
G. Design. T. With W. A. G. U. Voiceover off. ARIA practice guides. Link. But they're sus AF. There are frameworks, but they don't know your design goals. You learn to trust people like Marcy Sutton. Link. Adrian Roselli. Link. Comma. Rachel DiTulio. Link. Comma. Sarah Saliden. Link. Comma. Eric Bailey. Link. Comma. Frank Galowski. Link. And outlets like G. Link. Hell. Link. WCAG is not a design system. Heading level 3. WCAG aimed to design. Link. WCAG is not a design system. Voice object replacement 1 tag 0 0 5 W C G Y N T A X T I A N S T M. System object replacement notebook actions toolbar item palette quick time scroll area voiceover off. System heading level 3 WCAG aim to design framework y'all. There really isn't one. Image PNG image. WCAG first principles are challenging to design with. The WCAG guidelines are heuristics for testing accessibility, and design isn't on. Goal: if you figure out how to design with WCAG, you'll be able to stand back and look at the floor you made. You'll thinking, damn, that's a good floor. People are going to love sitting on it, and now you're hosting the worst house with garden. Party to design with WCAG. We need to trust their modern advances in floors. Now we can build SCADA parks, places of creation. We need more ramps and places to sit. Just so you know, this WCAG party is a bring your own chair BIOC. Chartability second order accessibility principles. Heading level 2. Personally, I've had to fill in a lot of blanks between data. Second order accessibility principles. Heading level 2. Personally, I've had to you know, this WCAG party is a bring your own chair BIOC. Chartability. Voiceover on Firefox. Untitled 6. QuickTime Player. May 2nd, 2025. 14. Firefox. Untitled 6. 430. C. R. 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 T. B. I. L. L. I. B. B. I. L. I. Chart of E. O. D. R. P. N. Pin. A. C. E. F. B. Exit. R. I. P. S. Print. X. Chartability. Selected. You are currently on a text area. An experimental accessibility presentation that is driven entirely by a screen reader. Samantha walks us through the Chartability and Web Content Accessibility Guide. Voiceover off. Second order accessibility principles. Heading level 2. Personally, I've had to fill in a lot of blanks between data work and accessibility. Chartability. Link. Is an extended set of principles designed for testing data visualization that establishes framework around WCAG. That's what I want to share with you today. Smiling face with sunglasses. Assistive. Heading level 3.
Oh shit, I forgot I started at assistive.
Today. Smiling face with sunglasses. Assistive. Heading level.
Okay, so this is going to move up.
Voiceover on QuickTime Player. May 2nd, 2020. Firefox. Untitled 6. Window. New line. 1. Principles 01. 4. Not 40. Paste. Assistive. QuickTime Player. May 2nd, 2000. Voiceover off. Technology. Heading level 3. Left paren. Understandable and perceivable, but labor reducing. Interface must be intelligent and multisensory in a way that reduces the cognitive and functional labor required for use. Chartability choice assistive principle is stored into all of the WCAG principles because it measures the outcome of our design goal. Did we minimize or reduce labor? Critical considerations for the assistive principle include: bullet. List start. Appropriate. 1 of 2. Information density. Link. Bullet. Acceptable levels of effort to navigate. Link. With mouse, keyboard, and screen reader. List end. These critical design goals are negations of the testing heuristics. Good assistive technologies reduce labor for their users and meet folks where they are. Accessibility is process. An engine. Heading level 2. The process is for to navigate. Link. With mouse, keyboard, and screen reader. List end. These critical design goals are negations of the testing heuristics. Good assistive technologies reduce labor for their users and meet folks where they are. Accessibility is process. An engine. Heading level 2. (22:02) selected. Space. 22.
Like 5 minutes.
For what?
Oh, I'll talk to you.
I was gonna heat up Starbucks. No? Yeah.
QuickTime Player. May 2nd. Firefox. Untitled 6. QuickTime Player. May Firefox. Samantha walks us through the Chartability. And Samantha walks us through the Chartability. Web Content Accessibility Guideline Principles. You are Group. Voiceover off.
Okay, where are we? Accessibility is a process. Okay. We're almost through this. God, so many times watching this.
2. The process is continued fine-tuning of text and verifying their perception on different devices. This engine drives web accessibility. There are top-level principles of WCAG and Chartability that we cycle through when developing and testing. There are a few documents that untangle the interaction between the accessibility principles. And the goal of this talk is to present a linear way of thinking about first and second order accessibility principles. The last question in testing or compaction is this thing robust? Development and design inverts the process starting at robust and ending with is this operable? Sensory principles. Description list start. Term. Things we see, hear, and touch operable flexible perceivable. Assistive. Term. Textual principles. Term. The source code magic wand. Understandable compromising robust. When we do accessibility work we turn text into vibes. Then brace for the blows when testing and verifying standards compliance. The accessibility process is a defensive strategy for the future. Read defensive as security. There are frequent iterations between testing and development where we want to start asking questions like: bullet. List start. How did this little text change sound? Bullet. How many tab stops will we enter before we stand up and say I've had too much? An answer could be a skip link over that region. Flexible. Heading level. New line. 03. Process space 15. F L E I B U E flex R I P E principal copy principal space save page as principal. QuickTime voiceover off. 2. Sensory technology. Heading level 2. All controls must be error tolerant, discoverable, and multimodal, not just mouse operable, but using keyboard, etc. The flexibility. Chartability principle describes the co-development between WCAG's perceivable and operable principles. A screen grab of stream focusing on the concept of flexibility. Image. Link to the tangle and weave stream. Link. The flexibility principle states it is critical to user design respect user style changes. Where we lose guidance from web principles we can steer towards the basic game accessibility guidelines. Link. A way to design flexible experiences to avoid encoding developer/design opinions and offering settings and options to change how the content is perceived. Perceivable technology. Heading level.
Okay. Cruising along. Cruising along. Just wanted to see where we actually are here. I guess we keep popping back and forth. Perceivable comes in at 003.49. Halfway there, y'all. I think after this, I'm gonna go eat some lunch, and then I'm not gonna get to. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get to the last two things I need to do, but maybe I'll work on them a little bit later. This has been a good process. I'm glad I get to figuring out how to share it with folk. So
3. User must be able to easily identify content using their senses, sight, sound, and touch. Image PNG, image. Holy crap, this is so dry, dude. I want to entertain these folks. Maybe they want real rap from a B. 4 stars. Like they out rap in a B. 4 stars. Boom bap, rap, rappity rap, rappity rap. PFFF. Boom bap, and it boom. And it bap, and it bounce. And it clap, and it's house. And it's trap, it's everything, I'm everything, boom. Cat, boom, rap, boom. Cat, boom. Cat in a hat. Boom bap. Cat boom, face with open eyes and mouth with head exploding. Operable. Heading level 3. Technology.
operable. Cool. I just keep kind of going with like 1 second before where I stop. Flexible. And then we're putting principles and everything.
End of. Collapse output. Group. Principal. Copy. Use paste. Principal. Space. Save page as. Principal.
Okay.
Notebook action. Group. QuickTime scroll area. Select May 2nd, 2025. Voiceover off. Not just mouse operable, but using keyboard, etc. Operable. Principles make it possible for folks to use designs on any of their devices, and if done extremely well, maybe even the good boys and good girls could even use it. Dog face. Woof. Image PNG. Image. Maybe it is even. Operable. For those pesky felines that test signal cat broke UI by holding down space. Link. It is really fascinating when we design for a mobile screen reader. There are rich touch interactions and expressions exposed when the screen reader is on. Don't worry, it doesn't tickle. You know, cause I'm a screen reader, but you should learn a little seriously. More mobile. The youth love us. And what the hell is Tonifist even doing? Standing there, twiddling thumbs. Couldn't this have just been email? Compromising. Heading level 2. Textual technology. Heading level 2. Left paren. Understandable. Yet.
Oi. Not the greatest UI
even doing,
for this.
standing there, twiddling thumbs. Couldn't this have just been email? Compromising. Heading level 2.
Okay. Okay, so see, basically the way that this is structured is that we enter into the web content accessibility guidelines through flexible and compromising. All of that work sort of accumulates into its assistive nature. So underneath the flexibility, we have perceivable and operable, and under compromising, we have understandable and robust.
2. Textual technology. Heading level 2. Left paren. Understandable. Yet. Robust. Information flows must provide transparency, tolerance, and consideration for different ways that users with assistive technologies and disabilities will prefer to consume different information. Text/movable type separated language from the senses. And that remains the same when it comes to accessible web designs. A collage of the letters OFPAUCR from end quote. Specimens of chromatic wood type end quote. Image. The choices you make in text make waves throughout the electromagnetic spectrum that meet our senses. Peter Subtle's visualization of CP 1919. Link. Image. Our input text is interpreted by user agents, egg browsers, screen readers, to create perceivable information. The compromising chartability principle connects the textual principles of WCAG. Seriously, it is a miracle that text turns into screen reader experiences, and images and data visualization. They bring me to life. But life is paying for a screen reader if we design assistive technology. Understandable. Voice 0, 5, principles 0, 4, UN, D, R, T, B, E. Understandable. D, P, I, P, E. Principle. Voiceover off. Heading level 3. Technology. Heading level 3. Any information or data are presented without ambiguity, with clarity, and in a way that minimizes cognitive load. For any task to be successful, motivation must equal or surpass cognitive load. Link. Another lazy screen grab from that stream this dude keeps bringing up. Image. Link to the Tangle and Weave stream. Link. Bullet. List start. Making content usable for people with cognitive and learning disabilities. Link. Bullet. Life is made of numbers and accessible numbers. Link. Is critical to people's economic security. Nearly half the UK's working age adult population, 49%, have numeracy skills roughly equivalent to those expected of children at primary school. Bullet. Using plain language. Link. List end. Robust. Heading level 3. Technology. Age adult population. 49% have numeracy skills roughly equivalent to those expected of children at primary school. Bullet. Using plain language. Link. List end. Robust. Heading level 3. Technology. Heading level 3. The design is compliant with existing standards and works with users compliant. Assistive tech. Colon. New line. 0, 6. Princip 1, 3, 13. You are currently on a text area. R. O, B, T, robot, P, P, R, I, P, E. Principal. Object replacement character. Voiceover off. Technologies of choice. Did. Tonifist. Just give up. WTF. No picture. What Tonifus couldn't come with some grade school design to show the specters of WCAG, AX, ARIA, APG, ADAPT, KOGA, Y, W3C, ACT, HTML, ADAPT, JS APIs, DOM, AOM. That couldn't have been so hard to illustrate. It's simply the alphabet soup from hell. It fights you on the way down and crawls back out in constant Sisyphean battle for relevance. Draw that. Practicing designing accessible content.
Well, it could have been whatever. I did keep forgetting to turn on the screen reader. I'm clearly getting tired at this. Okay, but I think like at this point we've
Heading level
hit
2.
everything.
You're going to need dry saltines to get this soup down. Good thing there are enough standards and documentation to go around. Bullet. List start. A truly assistive unit takes a lot of work and practice. 1 of 7.
don't wanna
Bullet.
watch
Learn your
this
screen reader. You
anymore,
have at least 1.
bro.
2 of 7. Bullet. Build from
Fuck.
HTML basics. 3 of 7. HTML is the most assistive standard for developers building accessible web content. Using HTML semantics properly will get us closer to the accessible solutions than going to JavaScript. Web accessible. Make you feel across.
All right. Let's call that a job done. And then I'm going to copy this over. Won't need that. Remove that tracking shit. Okay. Let's just check and see if that link works. Yeah. All right, great. Thanks to Ryan and Morgan for hosting. It was a really great event. Now I gotta go over and finish putting this onto the YouTube. Next, poor cafe. Yeah, I don't really know what to call this just yet. Let's see. What is this thing? First of all, so I'm just gonna sit here and start removing these capitals because I fucking hate capital letters, uppercase letters, whatever they are, bitch ass letters. C, understandable, robust. There's something about principles here that's really consistent. I like the accessibility engine. Actually, like maybe the like last title, maybe practicing uh designing practice designing accessible content. Practice designing, yes. Practice. Practicability. I like it. Practicability. Yeah. This is dirty. He's cracking jokes out there. All right, cool. So now I can go and say next. I'm not gonna add an ends. I did. What do I don't. I'll figure out a cover thing for it later on. Because that's another like collage John I gotta do. And I am actually going to make this one public. And I'm gonna hit publish. So I just published practicability, and that means I should be able to put, I'm gonna go over here, go to the video, and then I'm gonna grab the embed code, and now at the very top of this, I'm going to put this video. Oh, fuck, where does this go? Maybe it just goes to the top. And then maybe I call this practice. Like, I don't, maybe the headings get mixed up. I don't really care. So I'm going to call this practice ability. I'm going to have 2 headings and whatever, forever. No, not whatever, forever. Now I got to go and change all my headings. So it's funny, right? Because the original document isn't, I should actually like stamp that document somehow. Anyway, now all the headings are changing because I have a title, and I didn't have I said at the start that I don't know what to do with that introduction, and it's confusing me. But this is now creating the number of times that I've gone through this is really brutal. This feels very reminiscent of video of editing like skate videos and bike videos and shit. Fuck. All right, great. So now we've got this whole presentation, and the images are just slightly too big, but nevertheless, we're gonna go and okay. So that's just gonna so now that's gonna show up as some stupid ass code. Can I just, does this sanitize the iframe? What's it do? Let's see. So let's go and do that, and then let's export this bad boy over to HTML, and then let's take a look at it. And does it sanitize that shit out of there? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's solid. All right, that's exact. That's almost exactly what we want. What the fuck, bro? Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, I'm actually gonna. I like to separate media when I do this, and then the presentation starts after that. I mean, like I could put this up now, and then reduce the file size later, so everything is sort of there. Let me go and do that. Let me get a terminal open. I'm not going to show my terminal while I'm doing this. And we're going to copy 2025 05. No. Okay, so just above this directory that I'm in is 2025 05 01 present. And then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that in, I still keep putting everything in 2024's directory. It's just kind of where it all kind of goes now. So this goes in Tony Fast. Source. Research. I'm in research. Oh no, I don't want to be in research. I want to be in my repo, Tony Fast. Okay, and then I want to do CP dot 2025 010 present. Okay, and then I want to go to Tony Fast, and then I want to go to 2024 and put that in there, and then over crack open the GitHub desktop app, and I'm gonna actually move this over. No, come on, dude. Okay, and then move this over to here. Oh, dude. Okay, and then I'm gonna go add existing repo, choose, and then I am going to go up one, and then I'm gonna go to this one. This is the Git repo one. Our repository. Well, this doesn't appear to be a Git. Oh, that's because that's my username, and then it's Tony Fast. Yeah, yeah, boy, yeah, boy. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna add this because it's stinking huge, and I don't even know if Okay, fetch. Okay. Is it mad about nothing? I don't know. Just keep hitting the button. Yeah, it'll take a second. Man, I don't even. I hope I don't. Man, this. I'll eventually want to remove this from the diff. It's huge. It's like 21 megabytes. Because I took like the pictures from my phone and shit like that. But anyway, that's all getting uploaded. So as that gets up there, once that gets up there, I'll be able to put a big link, and I'll be able to put. I should probably put a warning that says like, "Bro, this is heavy." And I should probably put some like information, presentation. Just gonna put a link to that. All right, so it uploaded, which means that we should be. I don't know if it's gonna. There's so many things I know. Some just send it, right? But like now I've got this notebook tied to this YouTube video, and like that has always been like the goal. So see, it's 20.3 megabytes here. Let's go over to MB Viewer. I don't know if MB Viewer is gonna let me do it. I think they're gonna be mad at me. Sorry, not sorry. Too big? Too big? Wasn't found. Nuh-uh. That's not true. It's there. There's this path you can add here. See if it flushes. Yeah, I guess it can't. I wonder if it like filters it out because it's too big. So, but GitHub gonna load it. They're not gonna load the YouTube embed, but they're gonna load all the pictures. And you're already gonna be at the image. Yeah, presentation, notebook. And I think I'm gonna put a warning. Ha! It said nope. Super funny. Super funny. It said nope. All right, but anyway, no, like the important thing is that everything is canonically linked together. Angled brackets aren't allowed. Okay. Now I should be able to save it. Okay, cool. Okay. So now I'm going to drag this boy over to here with these boys. And this is practicability. So we streamed. and we produced a video from it. So yeah, I think what's interesting about this is now like folks can come
Hi,
and
main, landmark.
they can
What's up, folks?
go
The voice
and,
you are hearing, me,
you
I'm
know, if it's
Samantha.
too
I'm the default screen
fast,
reader on Red Apple. Thanks.
slow it
And if you own one
down.
of them, then I am in your pocket. Tonifist.
If
Link.
you don't like it,
Agreed to present
so
and then
there's like
decided to
even
arc
some
instead.
ways to
Seriously, this
like
dude about to cram web content accessibility guidelines into a
improve or
7-minute talk.
change the
Ambitious if you
way
have any questions and issues.
that you
Please raise your
walk
hand and
through
Tonifist
it.
will have something to do.
But I
Otherwise, say
really
questions well. Let's bring
am
the pain. Hardcore to your
interested
brain. Ellipsis. Let's go
in
inside my astral plane.
exploring
Ellipsis. Me.
some of these
Ellipsis.
concepts
Samantha. Ellipsis.
further.
Principles for designing assistive technology. Heading level 1. Web accessibility is a world of pain. It requires tedious study in a vast wasteland.
Fuck.
Digital Mad Max, it's easy to be a
I'm
critic.
starting
Image.
to really
Enlightenment
struggle
comes when you
with
can
this
design
like
accessible experiences that bring joy.
overwhelming
The feeling that
feeling
this thing
of
was made
like
for you. The feeling you and your sensory needs were included. Do it right.
being happy about my work. It's really um a good feeling. The outcome of like all of these things together really sort of piled on, and it just makes me a little bit more confident in my process. Hopefully, I can get better at communicating it with other people because it's a lot of I don't know. It's a lot. Let's call that done for the day. I don't know if anybody ever showed up, but thanks to anybody who might have. Um, fuck. I'm just so dead ass tired right now. Cool Twitch. I just want to see where I am at here. And Stream Manager. Yeah, we're still going. Okay. Well, we're gonna call it. That's it.